Happy Sunday.
Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2.
I always find Sundays living up on campus really funny because right back there, that mountain range is like all Garibaldi Provincial Park, and so every Saturday and Sunday it's like packed with mountain bikers, and they just come up in hordes. You'll see like 20 people all like lined up on the road, biking down or like biking up or something like that. And I just think it's really funny. I'm actually thinking of like starting a small little thing, like a lemonade stand, but for like beer and hot dogs, because you would probably make an absolute killing by the amount of people that actually went through. Alright, so no matter where I go, the lighting's terrible right now. So today's vlog is going to be a little bit different because I've been meaning to do something for some family that I just haven't time, or that I've kept procrastinating or putting it off. And so today's vlog is going to be like a small tour of where I am, of my university. This vlog is going to be that. At least for now, until like later on in the evening or something like that. You go to Quest or you've been here lots, you don't have to watch this at all. It might be really boring for you actually. If you haven't though and you're interested, feel free to keep watching. I was just going to draw like a visual representation of what the school looked like, but there's no markers in this room, so I'm just going to leave. Up a tree, clinging to a cloud. This building right there, right behind me, is sort of like what we call the library building. It has not only the library in it, it has like the admissions office, registrar, financial aid, as well as like learning commons and student affairs and all that stuff. And I'll sort of show you around. It also has a third floor, which is like a group study area that we usually hang out in, and that's that building right there. And it's the first building you see when you come up to the university. That building right there is the academic building, where all of the classes and tutors' offices are, and I'll also show you that. But yeah, first we'll start with this building. So this part of the building we call the atrium. It's just sort of like the bottom floor. It's generally like a big communal gathering area. But right now it looks a bit different than usual just because there's a conference.
Sweet.
Super cool.
It's a whole family music camp.
That's
and
very
so,
cool.
because there was the son of somebody.
And so in the atrium we also have like the learning commons, which is like free peer tutoring, and the bookstore on that side. Over the summer I'm actually working in this building in the admissions office, which is like tucked away in the back corner, so we can't really go see it. But yeah, so there's 3 floors in this building. The second floor is the library. It's closed right now, but we'll go take a look inside. Clinging to a cloud. So you can sort of see it a little bit. On this side there's just a bunch of books, and then on this side way over there, it's really sort of study areas and workshop areas and stuff like that. It's a pretty nice library. We're definitely spoiled with beautiful views here. This is the 3rd floor of this building, and it's the very top one, and it's just a big communal open space. And it's sort of used as like group study space, and group activities and different events are put on here. And next year the like the student government office is going to be right there, and that's something that I helped with to sort of get going, and so it's really exciting actually. Sort of this building. The one last thing that I really wanted to point out is the staircase that you've probably seen. It has these big red panels with writing on them, and this writing is a poem called Inside the Mill by Al Purdy. And so it's just a really big staple of sort of the building and makes it look very quaint and nice. Now I will take you to the cafeteria building. This is the cafeteria. It's pretty expected of like a big cafeteria, lots of seating, and then a lot of different options to eat. One of the really cool parts, though, the reason why I walked all the way to the opposite end was to show these flags, and so each flag represents either a student who's graduated or is currently going to Quest and the country that they're from. And so there's like 54 different countries with flags. You can see Canada and America there, but there's things like Bhutan, as well as Britain and Italy and things like that, all throughout. But yeah, so some pretty cool places and a pretty neat way to sort of represent that. Go out onto the patio now. It's probably one of the best views in Squamish, sort of surrounded by the mountains. If you've ever heard of the Chief, that's that mountain right there, and it's the world's second largest, or North America's second largest slab of granite, solid granite. So it's kind of cool, and a lot of people like to climb on it, like rock climbing. This mountain range right here that you can see is called the Tantalus Range. Right there, there's that sharp peak right there, that's called O Alpha, right there. And then this one right there is Omega. Of a different perspective, that right there is the academic building again, and that right there is the library building again. And we're still on sort of the big cafeteria deck patio. Now we've sort of seen the cafeteria. Down below here, there's two other floors. One of them is just sort of like a storage loading area that also houses, the door's locked. That also houses a music base, so sort of like a drop-in center to play music that you can just go to anytime. As well as a multi-purpose room on the very bottom floor. This is the academic building. It's pretty cool for a number of reasons, not just because like I go to class here, but it's shaped square on the outside, and then it's a really cool round circle on the inside. And the reason why it's like that is it actually allows a lot of natural light into the building. It also has this incredible courtyard right here just in the center, filled with lots of local plants and trees and stuff, and the pathway down the center is actually shaped like a giant question mark, which is pretty neat. Up a tree, clinging to a cloud. So this is what the average class sort of looks like. So it has this big round table right in the center, and then a bunch of chairs surrounding it. And so there's only 20 chairs, there's only space for about 20 students, and it's sort of capped at that. And there's two big white whiteboards that they really use, and there's no fixed projectors, which sort of forces our professors a lot of the time not to use PowerPoints and things like that. And so they're sort of have to use group discussion based or interactive discussion based, which is really nice and allows you to get really engaged in the topic. And so usually, all the time, most of my classes are held in rooms just like this. And so they're very nice, and they're very cozy too. They spent a lot of time choosing and deliberating over the chairs, the chairs and the tables to make sure that they were just right. We'll look at the labs on the bottom floor of the academic building, and then I'll just point out where some of the residences are. The chemistry lab, biology lab, and that last one was the physics and electronics lab. So this building is called OSA. I won't go in right now because I think there's lots of conferencing and I wouldn't want to disrupt anything. But it's all single occupancy residences. So this is the one that I lived in this past year, and next year I'll be living, you can see it, all the way across the field right there in Riverside, and I'll be living actually in that, I'll zoom in, that very top room right there, just overlooking the field. And our soccer field's right there, as well as some other residences on that side of this building. I think that concludes sort of the tour of the campus. I can't think of what else I'd show, but yeah, so that's my campus. I hope that gives you a better understanding of sort of where I am, where I go to school, and what it looks like.
Fun day.
It was like mediocrely fun while it lasted.
Good night.